Learn English easily with Pro English.
Welcome back to the Speak English podcast. Today, we are tackling one of the most emotional and sensitive topics in language learning. We are talking about your voice, specifically your accent. I have met students who are fluent, who have perfect grammar, and who have a massive vocabulary, but they refuse to speak. Why? Because they hate the sound of their own voice. They feel that their accent reveals them as outsiders. They have this obsession with sounding American or British, and anything less than that feels like a failure. Today, we are going to dismantle that belief. We are going to explain why your goal should never be to sound like a native, but rather to sound like a confident version of yourself.
This topic hits home for me. I literally hate listening to my own voice recordings. I sound thick. In my head, I sound elegant and smart, just like I do in my native language. But when I speak English, I hear this heavy, clunky accent that makes me feel like a child. I feel like people judge my intelligence based on my accent. If I mispronounce a vowel, I assume they think I am stupid. I have spent hours trying to copy American YouTubers, twisting my tongue to make those R sounds, but I just end up sounding fake. Is it really possible to be respected professionally if you don't sound like a native speaker?
That fear is incredibly common, but let's separate fact from fiction. First, there is a massive difference between accent and pronunciation. This is the most important distinction you will ever learn. Pronunciation is the science of being understood. If you pronounce the word sink as think, that is a pronunciation error because it changes the meaning. That prevents communication. Accent, on the other hand, is just the music or the color of your voice. It reveals your history, your geography, and your identity. Bad pronunciation is a barrier. A strong accent is not. You can have a very strong accent and still have crystal clear pronunciation. Think of Sofia Vergara or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Heavy accents, but you understand every single word.
That is a relief, but let's be honest about bias. I feel like some accents are considered cool or sexy, like French or Italian, while other accents are judged more harshly. I feel like my accent puts me at a disadvantage in a job interview. I want to be a language spy. I want to speak English so well that nobody knows where I am from. Is that a realistic goal? Can an adult learner actually erase their native accent completely, or am I chasing a ghost? Because honestly, trying to be a spy is exhausting. I feel like I am acting in a movie every time I order a coffee.
Being a language spy is statistically almost impossible for adult learners. There is a critical period for language acquisition that ends around puberty. After that, your brain loses the neuroplasticity to hear and reproduce certain sounds perfectly. But here is the good news. You don't need to be a spy. In fact, trying to mask your accent completely can backfire. It takes so much cognitive energy to fake an American accent that you have less brain power left for grammar and vocabulary. You end up sounding native, but saying simple, stupid things because your brain is too busy focusing on your tongue position. It is better to speak with a foreign accent and express complex, intelligent ideas.
That makes sense. I definitely feel that brain drain when I try too hard. I focus so much on the R sound that I forget the word for budget or schedule. But let's talk about the standard. When I learned English in school, they forced us to listen to this very posh British audio or very standard CNN American audio. Which one should I aim for? I feel like I am stuck in the middle. Sometimes I say tomato, US, and sometimes I say tomato, UK. Is it bad to have a mix and match accent? Does it make me sound uneducated?
The mix and match accent is actually the reality for 90 of global speakers. We call it International English or Mid-Atlantic English. It is a hybrid. Unless you are an actor, you don't need to pick a team. However, you should aim for consistency in key sounds. If you choose to pronounce the R at the end of words American style, car, try to do it always. If you choose to drop it British style, try to stick to that. But honestly, in 2024, nobody cares if you mix American vocabulary with British vowels. The goal is intelligibility. If people understand you, you win. The idea of a standard native speaker is a myth. Even Americans don't sound like CNN anchors in real life.
Intelligibility, I like that word. It lowers the bar from perfection to connection. But I want to ask about the rhythm. I think that is where I struggle the most. Even if I pronounce the vowels right, I sound robotic. My native language is very flat, like a machine gun. Ta 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 ta. English feels like a roller coaster. Da da da. I don't know how to ride that roller coaster without feeling ridiculous. I feel like I am singing instead of speaking. Is rhythm part of the accent, or is it something I have to fix?
Rhythm is the heartbeat of English. This is actually more important than pronunciation. English is a stress-timed language. This means the time between stressed syllables is equal. To achieve this, we crush the small words like to, at, the, and stretch the big words verbs, nouns. Your native language is likely syllable-timed, where every syllable gets equal time. If you speak English with syllable-timed rhythm, you sound robotic and, ironically, harder to understand. Natives rely on the stress to find the keywords. If you stress everything, you emphasize nothing. You have to learn to eat the small words.
If you stress everything, you emphasize nothing. That is powerful. I definitely do that. I pronounce every letter because I want to be clear, but you are saying that being too clear actually makes me less clear. That is a paradox. So I need to be brave enough to mumble the small words. That goes against everything I learned in school. My teachers always shouted, "Enunciate, speak clearly." Now you are telling me to eat words. It feels like rebellion.
It is rebellion. You are rebelling against the reading brain. When you read, every word looks important because it has ink on the page. When you speak, you must ignore the visual picture. Think of English like jazz music. The small words are just the soft beat in the background. The big words are the trumpet solo. You need to focus your energy on the content words, information, and relax on the function words, grammar. If you say I went to the store, all equal, it is exhausting to listen to. If you say I went to the store, gliding over the middle, it flows. It is about energy management.
Okay, I am going to try to be a jazz musician. But let's talk about the psychological aspect of judgment. I work in a global company. I have colleagues from Germany, France, India, and China. We all speak English. But I feel like the native speakers, the Americans and Brits, are the judges at the top of the pyramid. I feel like they are secretly laughing at our mistakes. Is this true? Do native speakers actually care about accents? Or is this all in my head?
This will surprise you. Native speakers are usually the most tolerant audience. Why? Because most native English speakers are monolingual. They only speak English. When they hear you speaking English with a French or Spanish accent, they are actually impressed. They think, wow, this person speaks two languages. The harshest judges are usually other non-native speakers. A French person will judge another French person's accent much more severely than an American would. We project our own insecurities onto our peers. The native speaker is just happy you are doing the work, so they don't have to learn your language.
That is a fascinating perspective. The harshest judges are other non-native speakers. I think you are right. I cringe when I hear someone from my own country making mistakes because it reminds me of my own mistakes. It's like looking in a mirror I don't like. So, if native speakers don't care, why do I still feel so small? Is it because I can't express my personality? In my language, I am funny. In English, I am serious and boring because I play it safe. How do I get my charisma back through the accent barrier?
Losing your personality is a real form of grief. We call it the reduced self. You feel like a simplified version of you. The solution is to use your accent as a tool for charisma rather than hiding it. People with accents are perceived as interesting, worldly, and experienced. You can lean into it. If you make a mistake, own it with humor. If you can't find a word, describe it with passion. Your charisma comes from your energy, not your vowels. If you speak with confidence and eye contact, your accent becomes a signature feature, not a bug. Think of Antonio Banderas. His accent is thick, but his confidence makes it charming.
Signature feature, not a bug. I love that tech metaphor. Okay, but there are some specific sounds that truly mark me as a beginner. For example, the TH sound. I just can't do it. I say dis and dat instead of this and that. Or I say sink instead of think. Is this one of those deal-breaker sounds? Should I spend my energy fixing the TH, or should I just accept that I will never be able to stick my tongue out correctly?
The TH sound is the most famous shibboleth A marker of being a foreigner. However, statistically, it is the least important sound for intelligibility. Why? Because there are very few minimal pairs where confusing TH changes the meaning. If you say, I think so instead of I think so, context makes it 100 clear. Nobody thinks you are physically sinking in water. While it is good to practice it for polish, do not let the TH destroy your confidence. Focus on vowel length instead. Confusing ship, short I, and sheep. Long E causes much more confusion and embarrassment than TH ever will.
Ship and sheep. Yes, and the other famous pair. Sheet and, well, the bad word. I am terrified of making that mistake in a business meeting. Please look at the spread sh*t. Oh God. So, vowel length is a priority. That is actionable advice. What about the melody or intonation? You mentioned stress, but what about the pitch? I tend to go up at the end of sentences because I am unsure. It sounds like a question. My name is Sarah. I am from Brazil. I work in marketing.
Upspeak. That is a confidence killer. When your voice goes up at the end of a statement, you are signaling, please approve me, or am I right? It lowers your status. In English, a statement should have a falling intonation. It should go down at the end. My name is Sarah. Down. I work in marketing. Down. This signals authority. It tells the listener, I know this is true. If you have an accent but you use falling intonation, you sound like a boss. If you have perfect pronunciation but use rising intonation, you sound like an intern.
That is a huge hack. Falling intonation equals authority. I can practice that immediately. I just need to imagine I am dropping a ball at the end of the sentence. Thump. Okay, I want to talk about code switching. Sometimes I hear people who have lived in the US for years, and they sound totally American, but the moment they talk to their mother on the phone, their accent comes back instantly. Does that mean the accent never truly leaves? Is it just hiding?
The accent lives in the emotional center of the brain. When you speak to your mother, you revert to your emotional default settings. This proves that accent is psychological, not just physical. You adopt the mask of American English to survive in the US, but your true voice is the one you use with family. This is beautiful, not shameful. It means you have range. You can be professional Sarah and daughter Sarah. Don't try to kill daughter Sarah. Just train professional Sarah to be clearer.
I like the idea of having different modes. It makes me feel like I have superpowers. But Michael, what about when people ask, where are you from? I used to get offended thinking, oh no, they noticed my accent. But now I realize they are just curious. How should I handle that question? Should I be proud, or should I try to explain away my accent? Oh, I am from Spain, but I have lived here for 10 years. I always feel the need to justify why I still sound Spanish.
Never apologize for your origin story. When someone asks, where are you from? It is usually an invitation to connect, not an interrogation. If you apologize, sorry about my accent, I'm from Spain, you make it awkward. You are highlighting a problem. Instead, own it. I'm from Spain, full stop. Smile, let them do the work, or better yet, use it as a hook. I'm from Spain, which explains why I talk with my hands so much. Humor diffuses the tension. Your accent is your passport stamp. It shows you have traveled.
Humor is such a good weapon. I'm from Spain, which explains the passion. I love that. Okay, we have covered the mindset, the myth of the spy, and the importance of rhythm over pronunciation. But I still have a practical question. How do I practice this new mindset? I can't just think my way into a better accent. Do I need to record myself? Do I need to watch movies? What is the daily gym routine for my voice?
You absolutely need to record yourself, but not for self-flagellation. Don't record yourself to find mistakes. Record yourself to find wins. Find one sentence where you sounded really good, really clear. Listen to that on repeat. Reinforce the positive neural pathways. Also, use a technique called shadowing. Listen to a speaker you admire who has a similar voice type to you and repeat exactly what they say simultaneously. Try to match their melody, not just their words. It's like karaoke for conversation.
Karaoke for conversation. I can do that. I guess I need to find a voice model. Someone who sounds like the future me. Maybe a Spanish actress who speaks clear English. That makes it feel achievable. I don't need to sound like the Queen of England. I just need to sound like a polished version of myself.
Exactly. Find your voice avatar. In part 2, we are going to get physical. We are going to do a mouth gym session. I am going to teach you the schwa sound, the lazy vowel that makes you sound 50 more fluent instantly. We will also practice linking words together so you stop sounding like a robot. Are you ready to work out?
I am ready to sweat. Let's go to the mouth gym fin DELAPARTE 1. Presido con la PARTE 2, turnos 31 a 60. TEMA, hate your accent. Part 2. The mouth gym the schwa DURACIN PARTE 2. 15 minutos aprox.
Welcome to the mouth gym. We are going to start with the single most important sound in the English language. It is not the TH, it is not the R, it is the schwa. The schwa is the sound of laziness. It sounds like a weak grunt. In English, any vowel that is not stressed turns into a schwa. Look at the word banana. You don't say banana with 3 clear A's. You say banana. The first and last A are schwas. They are dead vowels. If you pronounce them clearly, banana, you sound foreign. If you kill them, banana, you sound native.
Banana, that is so weird. I feel like I am disrespecting the vowels. In my language, every vowel deserves respect. An A is an A, but you are saying that in English, I have to destroy the vowels to make them sound right. It feels lazy. Photogirafai, is that right? I am stressing the tog and killing the E and the Y. It feels like I am mumbling half the word.
You are absolutely right. Photogirafai. That is perfect. You are disrespecting the vowels to respect the rhythm. The rhythm is king. The schwa allows us to move faster between the stressed beats. If you say photographi, 4 equal beats, you sound like a robot. If you say photogirafhi, 1 big beat, 3 weak ones, you sound like a human. This is why you feel tired when speaking English. You are working too hard. You are trying to pronounce everything. Stop working so hard. Be lazier. Your accent will improve instantly.
Be lazier to sound better. That is the best advice I have ever heard. I usually tense my jaw so much when I speak English because I am trying to control everything. By the end of a meeting, my face literally hurts. I get a headache from speaking English, so the schwa is basically me relaxing my face. I just drop my jaw and make a noise. Computa, teacher.
Precisely. Let your jaw hang loose. Now let's move to the next machine in the mouth gym, the linker. In your native language, you might separate words clearly. Pick it up. In English, if a word ends in a consonant and the next begins with a vowel, they become magnetic. They stick together. Pick it up becomes pi kai dupe. The K moves over. The T moves over. It sounds like one strange word. Pick it up. Try it. Don't stop the air.
Pai kai dupe, pick it up. It sounds like a hiccup's cure, but I see what you mean. If I try to say pick it up, I have to stop my breath 3 times. If I say pick it up, it is one long breath. This explains why I can't understand movies. I am looking for 3 words, but the actor is giving me one sound. G2 Tav here. Get out of here. It is just a stream of noise.
Exactly. It is a river of sound. Now let's try a harder link, vowel to vowel. If I say go out, my lips are round for go. To move to out, my lips naturally make a W shape. So we pronounce it go out. There is an invisible W. If I say see it, my mouth is wide. To move to it, I make a Y shape. See it. There is an invisible why. You don't have to force this. Just keep your voice loud and don't stop. The W and Y will appear like magic.
Go out, see it, do it. It is so smooth. I used to stop and reset my mouth for every word. Do it. It felt choppy. Adding that little W makes it glide. It feels like skating. Okay, what about the famous dark L? I struggle with words like milk and world and girl. I feel like I am choking on my own tongue. My L sounds too sharp, too light. How do I darken it?
The light L, like in light, is made with the tip of your tongue touching your teeth. The dark L at the end of words is made in your throat. Lift the back of your tongue, like you are making a G sound, but keep the air flowing. Don't touch your teeth with the tip. For milk, make a low, groaning sound in your throat, myulk. It almost has a U sound in it. World, girl. It should feel deep and resonant, not sharp and clicky.
My ulk, world. Okay, I feel that in my throat. It is vibrating differently. It sounds much deeper. My old way was very front of the mouth. This feels back of the mouth. It definitely sounds more American. I feel like a cowboy saying world. World. Okay, Michael, we have done the schwa, the linking, and the dark L, but what happens when I am in the real world and I simply forget all of this? When I get nervous, I revert to my old accent. Is that failure?
That is not failure, that is biology. When cortisol stress goes up, language skills go down. The goal is not to be perfect 100 of the time. The goal is to have recovery strategies. If you stumble, if you mispronounce a word, do not freeze. Do not apologize, just repeat the word slowly and move on. I would like to schedule a meeting. Correcting yourself calmly is a power move. It shows you are in control even when you make a mistake.
That is good to know. I usually apologize profusely. Oh, sorry, my English is terrible today. I say that all the time. But you are saying that apologizing actually draws more attention to the mistake. It makes it a big deal. If I just correct it and keep going, maybe nobody even cares. It is about confidence again. Fake it until you make it.
Never insult your own English in public. It is like insulting your own outfit. It makes everyone uncomfortable. Instead of sorry, my English is bad, say, let me rephrase that. Or let me try that again. It sounds professional. It sounds like you are editing your thoughts, not failing at the language. Now I want to talk about volume. Many non-native speakers whisper because they are insecure. They think, if I speak quietly, nobody will hear my mistakes.
I am guilty of the mumble whisper. I definitely lower my volume when I am unsure of the grammar. I think I am being subtle, but I guess it just makes me look terrified. And then people say, what? And excuse me, which makes me even more terrified because now I have to shout my mistake. It is a vicious cycle.
It is a trap. When you whisper, you force the listener to strain their ears. They get annoyed not because of your accent, but because they can't hear you. Volume equals confidence. If you speak loudly and clearly, even with a heavy accent, people will respect you. They will think, this person has something important to say. I challenge you. Next time you are in a meeting, speak 10 louder than you think is necessary. Project your voice.
10 louder. That is a concrete goal. I can do that. I will project my voice to the back of the room. Okay, Michael, we are nearing the end of our workout. I feel like my mouth is tired, but my brain is energized. I realize now that accent is just a collection of physical habit-stung position, jaw tension, breath control. It is not a reflection of my soul or my intelligence. It is just muscle memory.
Exactly. It is gym work. You don't get a six-pack in one day, and you don't get a standard accent in one day. But if you practice the schwa, the linking, and the intonation a little bit every day, you will transform. And remember, the goal is not to sound American. The goal is to sound like you, but clearer. Your accent is the flavor in the soup. We don't want water, we want soup. Keep the flavor, just serve it hot.
We don't want water, we want soup. I love that. I am going to keep my flavor. I am going to stop trying to be a spy and start enjoying being an international speaker. This has been such a healing episode for me. I feel less shame and more curiosity. I am actually excited to go practice my bananas and pick-it-ups.
That is the spirit. Curiosity kills the fear. Go out there, make noise, make mistakes, and own your voice. Thank you for sweating with us in the Mouth Gym today. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives. In the next episode, we are going to tackle small talk, how to survive those awkward conversations in the elevator without dying inside.
Oh, the elevator pitch. I can't wait. Thank you, Michael. Bye, everyone. Keep talking loud and proud. Findel episodiocomplito. Turnos 1 a 60 completados. Duración total 30 minutos.